Hello, everyone. My name is Aubrey Williams, and the focus of my thought paper is rethinking contextual factors in adult learning with attention to creativity, microlearning, and new literacies. This paper argues that the challenges adult learners face are not just individual barriers, but are deeply rooted and shaped by their learning context. By reframing context as a central instructional variable rather than background noise, this paper seeks to offer a more equitable and realistic way to design learning for adult students, especially the ones that are pursuing their GED. Adult learners engage with instruction and education under conditions that are very different from traditional students. Many are balancing full time work, family responsibilities, transportation challenges, financial stress, and past academic failure. Yet, in much of the literature, these contextual factors are acknowledged but treated as secondary influences rather than as central design forces. This paper is needed because how adults experience learning is not separate from their context. Context actively shapes cognition, emotion, and persistence, and engagement. If we continue treating it as background rather than instructional reality, we risk designing systems that unintentionally exclude the learners we hope to serve. For adult GED learners in particular, math and test anxiety are persistent and deeply rooted. Many learners carry educational trauma from repeated failure earlier in life. At the same time, they are studying under intense time pressure, often with limited access to stable technology or digital support. While new technologies are frequently introduced as solutions for access, technology alone does not resolve contextual overload. In fact, poorly designed digital tools can increase frustration and cognitive burden. This creates an urgent need to rethink how instructional design responds to the lived realities of adult learners. This thought paper reframes contextual factors as active instructional forces rather than as external barriers. Using cognitive load theory and andragogy as guiding framework, the paper explains how context increases extraneous cognitive load and intensifies anxiety for adult learners. The paper also examines microlearning as a way to reshape learning context by reducing overload and creating a low threat entry point into academic content. However, the paper takes a balanced stance. Microlearning alone is not sufficient. Meaningful learning still depends on structured practice and authentic application so that knowledge can transfer beyond short instructional moments. In this paper, creativity is framed as an adaptive problem solving persistence and identity reconstruction rather than artistic production alone. Adult learners demonstrate creativity in how they navigate constraints and reframe failure. AI and microlearning tools can support creative engagement by allowing learners to access content in flexible, self paced, and multimodal ways. The paper also highlights new literacies, including digital navigation, self directed learning, and AI literacy. These literacies are no longer optional, they are essential for academic participation, workforce readiness, and civic life. AI is framed not as a replacement for instruction, but as a contextual force that reshapes across learner agency. This paper directly connects to my dissertation. which examines the use of microlearning to reduce math anxiety among GED learners. So while my empirical study focuses on outcomes, this thought paper establishes the conceptual foundation for why microlearning works because it alters the contextual conditions under which adults engage with learning. In this way, the paper functions as one of the three artifacts for my dissertation, and it strengthens my theoretical interpretation of my qualitative and quantitative findings. The target audience for this paper includes adult education researchers, GED instructors, instructional designers working with adult populations, and program administrators. The primary target outlet for this paper is COABE, which stands for the Coalition of Adult Basic Education, along with um, related adult educational and technology venues identified in my dissertation proposal. Targeting COABE ensures that the conceptual reframing offered in this paper reaches both scholars and practitioners who are directly positioned to apply it in real instructional settings. Thank you for listening to my pitch.